Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in to a emergency meeting that we have called today. I only had a little bit of time to get dressed and get ready because it was an emergency. And so you'll have to excuse me. I wasn't anticipating getting on today. Welcome. Depending on the outcome of this meeting, I wish this water would have been wine. Okay, depending on the outcome of this meeting. We'll be getting ready shortly. The special board meeting will start in about 8 minutes. And I will basically turn it on and we'll tune in. We'll be tuned in. I'm going to ask that if this is your first time here, or even if it's not your first time here, to subscribe to the YouTube channel. No one will know who you are, just in case you might be from a school and you don't want folks to know that you're subscribed. Nobody will know. We're going to wait until the official word is announced and whatnot is announced. Other than that, I don't have any details as to why this meeting is called or what it's for. But I did, because I am SheLovesThee and I cover Jackson State University. I cover SWAC sports. I cover mostly Jackson State sports. Sometimes I cover politics. Anyway, this is something that, regardless of the outcome of this particular meeting, it would kind of be negligible of me to not stream it or have a venue for folks to chat about it, because when other folks be having stuff going on, I will be tuned in. Yes, let's put allegedly in the chat before we get started. We will be tuning in to the special board meeting. If you would like to tune in directly from that particular platform, I'll copy and paste it in the chat so that you can go directly there. This is IHL. IHL is the Mississippi, basically, it's the Institutions of Higher Learning Mississippi board that basically handles all of the state universities, details as far as financing, what type of programs that we offer, personnel matters. So I'm going to read this to you. The Board of Trustees of State Institutions of Higher Learning will hold a special called meeting on Wednesday, May 7, 2025 at 12 p.m. Central to discuss a personal matter, specific to an individual at Jackson State University. No word on who that particular individual is. So until they announce that who it actually is, we're just going to hold off on speculation. Members of the board will participate in the meeting via an online meeting platform. Members of the public and media may attend the meeting in the IHL boardroom. An executive session may be held in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. So unlike a lot of other universities like Florida A&M, they are in a state where basically it's called the Sunshine Law. So everything is open to the public. Whereas in the state of Mississippi, we have executive sessions take place in which we won't know anything until somebody says something. But nevertheless, I am going to go ahead and stream that for you all. So regardless of if, which I'm pretty sure they might, I'm probably like 90% sure that they'll be calling an executive session and then they will come out with a determination. While we're waiting, hey, I bought you the information straight to your door. We can just chop it up in the chat or, listen to some gospel music, whatnot, whatever we may be deciding to do. Whew. I might be playing my favorite song. I asked the question, Lord. It just depends, right? So it will be starting in about a minute. Let me tell you guys a little bit more about IHL and their history with Jackson State. The Mississippi Board of Trustees of State Institutions of Higher Learning is the governing body responsible for overseeing state public universities, including Jackson State University. The board consists of 12 members. They're usually appointed by the governor. So you can see how that goes, right? Let me check. Just making sure, y'all. Making sure. Making sure that I am keeping time. Got about 3 more minutes, so let me finish reading. It manages personnel decisions, academic programs, budgets, and institutional policies. IHL has authority over all public universities in Mississippi. When urgent or sensitive matters arise, like leadership changes or investigations, IHL can call a special or emergency meeting to address them. In this case, IHL has called a special meeting today at 12 p.m. to discuss a personal matter involving someone at JSU. This is just days after the university had a successful graduation ceremony. Are y'all already cutting it up in the chat? We haven't even started, and you guys are already cutting up. Why? Boy, them folks are waiting. Does anyone have any guesstimations on what this is about? Please use the word allegedly for any types of guesstimations. What? What is he talking about? I'm not putting that up on the screen. Y'all can talk about it in the chat though. Please like the stream. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Our people love them some derogatory too. No, so I cover great news, I cover bad news, I cover the ugly, the good. I cover it all. This might be your first time actually coming to my channel though. So, in that case, you wouldn't know. But, however you found your way to this channel, thank you so much for tuning in. Please go ahead and like the stream. Thank you so much. Hey, Miss Natasha, congratulations on graduating once again. Miss Natasha graduated this past weekend. You said folks love. Well, no, it's not that we love bad news. I literally cover Jackson State. So, of course, I'm going to bring the news. Would you rather have a Jackson State alum bring you the news or somebody who's not tied to or have any type of adoration for their university breaking the news? Or, I don't know. If I had to choose, all right, let's talk about this a little bit more. Whew. And let's just go ahead and make that announcement, is that we really don't know who it involves, what it involves. There's a lot of folks that are in the chats, just saying stuff. Personally, please place allegedly with it. But at the end of the day, we won't know anything until they actually make that announcement. So as of right now, we're just talking and parlaying it up in the chat. We don't know what's going on. We have no clue. All right. Hey, we're going to go ahead and tune in.
Mr. Heidelberger, if you answered, I couldn't hear you. Ms. Hubbard?
Present.
Mr. Martin?
Here.
We're taking roll
Mr.
call, y'all.
Ogletree?
Here.
Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mr. Rader?
Here.
Mr. Stevenson?
So right now they're taking roll call. This is the of course the 12 appointed members. They're here.
We're ready, Mr. Martin.
Great. Is there a motion to close the meeting to determine the need for an executive session?
Yay. As soon as we
Second.
got here.
Great.
We just got
Is there any
here.
discussion? Bridget, would you please conduct a roll call vote?
Yes, sir.
We
Ms.
just got
Arrington?
here, and they already saying executive
Dr. Cummings?
session.
Yes.
Dr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Y'all
Mr. Griffith?
go ahead and do
Yes.
your we're
Mr.
taking roll
Heidelberg?
call as well in the chat.
Yes.
Ms. Hubbard?
Make sure you make
Yes.
yourself known. Are you
Martin?
guys present?
Yes.
Mr.
Whitley,
Ogletree?
Miss Whitley, are you
Yes.
in here?
Mr. Parker?
Miss Whitley, are you in here?
Mr. Rader?
Dre,
Yes.
you in here?
Mr.
If
Stevenson?
you're present in the
Yes.
chat, please make yourself
Motion passes.
Thank you. Anyone not needed for the executive session should leave the room or disconnect. Visitors are welcome to wait in the lobby. Trustees, will you please give us a minute or two to make sure the appropriate participants are.
So we taking roll call, y'all. We taking roll call. Y'all make yourselves known. Okay? Now, just as I thought, like I said, we are in the state of Mississippi. Okay? And being the state of Mississippi, Dang, that's it. That's all. Baby, they shut that down. Do you hear me? They literally started the meeting, to shut it down. Anybody who is not the 12 board members and the secretary, get out. Go. You can go in the lobby. Y'all can go in the lobby. Y'all can go sit outside. Close the doors, close the doors, close the doors. Close the doors, close the doors, close the doors. They closed the doors, y'all. Hey. All right. Yes, Dr. Kanisha, they closed the doors on us. You know what? I should have probably led with this. Lord have mercy. All right. So here's the thing about the state of Mississippi. Unlike Florida, which has the sunshine law where everything you discuss has to be out in the open, just everything. We have what we call executive session, and it is called. So what that basically means is let me go ahead and pull up my little Tish. They'll be making an announcement shortly, possibly, maybe. Then again, they might wait till 6 o'clock to make it.
How you gonna fix it? You done messed me up to death with visit. I done called the police because I'm doing a refund. A refund is due unto me. Don't feel like I just been abused out here today. God ain't pleased with this. You can't do the same like this. Boy, I don't even know what I'm gonna sit out here telling the police car. I'm gonna sit out here telling the police car. I'm doing a refund. Cause I'm doing one of me.
So the truth is that as of right now, I actually don't have any news for you because they're in executive session. Ooh, Jesus. Lee, what am I playing about? Why are you playing? Playing about what? I haven't done anything. They're in an executive session. What do you want me to do about it? They called a special board meeting and they were live for less than a minute. What do you want me to do? I apologize, but at this point in time, I cannot bring you any information. I don't know what they over here doing. Yeah, like they're not doing anything. It's over. They were live for 2 minutes. Not waiting for the smoke. Dr. Kanisha, we waiting on the smoke for the new pope. Oh, what? God, please help me. Who, Alex? Who allegedly resigned yesterday? Waiting, waiting on the smoke for the new pope. Let me see if I can find some smoke for y'all. Oh, Lord have mercy. It says during a papal conclave, smoke from the Sistine Chapel is used to signal the outcome of each round of voting. Black smoke indicates that no pope has been elected. Oh, Lord. We waiting on the smoke for the new pope. I heard that, Dr. Kanisha. Or in this case, I guess we will be waiting for a interim. Thetis, I apologize. You know what? The only problem with me speculating is what if it's not about, I can pull up all of the past stream. I don't know what y'all want me to do. Like, wait a minute. What are we doing here? So I am basically looking at all the news outlets and waiting for that particular announcement to arrive. And I apologize, but at this point in time, I don't have anything to say. Oh, you know what? I can share this information. Let's just do that. That's something that we can do. We can just update it. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Tougaloo. Let's do Jackson news. Tougaloo investigates threats after Congressman's commencement speech. I'm waiting on real news. Well, Mr. Lee, you're going to have to wait until it's officially released, sir. It's kind of like waiting outside the Diddy trial. You got to wait. You got to wait until the people come out with the information. Just wait. Wait a minute. All right. An investigation is underway after Tougaloo College received what the president of the college described as concerning calls after Sunday's commencement address. U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett of Texas has been a political lightning rod of sorts for supporters of President Donald Trump. During her keynote address, Crockett criticized the president while defending her own politics. Tougaloo College President Donzel Lee sent a letter to the Tougaloo family the day after the commencement saying they are not taking the calls lightly. Appropriate actions have been taken, Lee said. Contact has been made with law enforcement authorities to ensure the safety protocols are in place if needed. Lee didn't release details about the calls, but asked anyone who received a call to report it. Crockett took to social media in an effort to understand why someone would threaten Tougaloo because of the commencement speech she made. This type of behavior is why I'm constantly having to be protected, Crockett said on social media. I understand the truth telling in this country, sadly, is a dangerous business, but college students don't deserve this. Crockett said that she was invited to speak at Tougaloo by fellow Democrat and Tougaloo graduate U.S. Representative Benny Thompson of Bolton, Mississippi. This was the only campus that Martin Luther King Jr. could speak at in Mississippi in the 1960s. It's 2025 and this country is still stuck on hate. Crockett said, I'm proud to say Tougaloo is tough and so am I. That's just a little bit of Jackson business. Okay. As it concerns with IHL, we are going to expect a release to actually not come from IHL at this point in time. Wait a minute. Why don't we talk about toys in the chat? Oh, Lord, have mercy on my soul. So Ross Adams from WABT is there at IHL, and he'll be giving us some updates. All right, I actually do have an update. IHL spokesman John Sewell says the board's executive session discussions relates to the job performance of a specific individual at Jackson State University and potential litigation. This just in from Ross of WAPT News. I'm going to pull this up so you guys can look at it. Let me remove my overlay so that you can see it in its entirety. All right.
Has voted to enter executive session to discuss a personnel matter regarding the job performance of a person holding a specific position at JSU and related potential litigation, the discussion of which in open session would be detrimental to the litigation position of IHL. Coach,
Okay, I'm going to replay that for you all. Once again, Ross Adams of WAPT News is at the IHL meeting, which went into executive session. And so Mr. Sewell is basically the spokesperson for IHL, and he basically released this particular statement to the media.
Has voted to enter executive session to discuss a personnel matter regarding the job performance of a person holding a specific position at JSU and related potential litigation, the discussion of which in open session would be detrimental to the litigation position of IHL. Coach has voted to enter executive session to discuss a personnel matter regarding the job performance of a person holding a specific position at JSU and related potential litigation, the discussion of which in open session would be detrimental to the litigation position of IHL.
Well, goodness gracious. So, and of course, this is the boardroom, and Ross shares that just 2 minutes after calling the virtual special meeting to order, members of the Mississippi College Board, IHL, voted to immediately go into a special session. Thank you, Zordon, for becoming a member. Everybody else can join as well. If you don't want to join, that's fine. You can make a donation directly to the channel. The information is listed at the bottom, which I have to move all that other stuff. But yeah. Oh no, we could just use that. IHL is responsible for hiring all of our presidents. Jackson State is able to, thank you, Whitley. Jackson State is able to make recommendations, but the final say is IHL. That's even saying if it is going to be about the president, allegedly. So we're speculating, and this is speculation only. So we're going to put the allegedly on there. We do not have a definitive 100% say that it is about the president, But we'll wait for that for me as me making a definitive statement. But allegedly, this has to do with someone on the higher ups in terms of calling this special session. So what I'll be doing is I'll be eyeing these particular news sources, and they will basically come out with any news, right? Any news that they have, it will probably more than likely first be reported on Twitter. So I'll just, keep up with that. That's the best that I can do. Thoughts in the chat. Oh, Lord. Max, I'm just going to tell you right now, if it's one thing that you will not be doing, you will not be getting on this live. Max, you cannot come up here. No. We will not be having you up here clowning. This is a serious matter, Max. And ain't nobody wasting. I'm not wasting electricity. I'm waiting for the statement. I'm bringing you. Let Max come up. Now, why would you say that? You know Max will turn it out, okay? And he loves Jackson State. So he doesn't want to say anything, alleged about Jackson State, Due to inclement weather in the Gulfport area, tonight's game versus Jackson State has been moved back to 9:30 p.m. Eastern time. Stay tuned for further updates. So I can go ahead and talk about that a little bit so that I'm not wasting y'all electricity. Jackson State University, the softball team is taking place, the SWAC tournament is taking place for softball. They are in Gulfport, Mississippi. And you actually can watch the tournament live on the SWAC channel on YouTube. It's been great. So May 6th through May 10th, they will be competing. Jackson State beat Southern last night or yesterday during the day. But I will say this. It's going to be a hard-fought schedule, right? So let me go ahead and pull up that schedule. And then when I see some more information or somebody makes an announcement, I will jump right back to it to give you all of the upgraded information. So you're going to have to be patient because right now IHL is in an executive session. Because they're in executive session, we are not privy to what they're discussing or what that determination is. We have to wait for it. Today, Grambling State is actually playing Texas Southern right now at 1 p.m. Central Time. Southern will take on Prairie View. At 8:30 p.m., Alabama State will take on Florida A&M. And at 8:30 p.m. Central, Jackson State will take on Bethune-Cookman. Yeah. So I think IHL just has decided to let me put in here allegedly. Lord have mercy. Allegedly. And I'm gonna need a couple more of y'all to put allegedly in there. So this particular tournament is double elimination. So if you lose twice, you're basically out. When you post the summary on Twitter, can you use the Muppets? Why? All right, so I can do that. That's not a problem. Here's my Muppet. The first Muppet that I have. That's me dressed as the How You Gonna Fix It lady. Here, let's do a side by side and see. Y'all see if you can see the resemblance. I mean, I got on a blue outfit. She's got on green.
How you gonna fix it? You done messed me up to death this visit. I done called the police because I'm doing a refund. A refund is due unto me. Don't feel like I just been abused out here today. God ain't pleased like this. You can't do the saints like this. Oh, I don't even know what's wrong with sitting out here telling the police car. I'm gonna stay out here telling the police car. I'm doing a refund. Cause I'm doing one of me.
Truth is, I'm tired. All right, let's take a poll. Just because, you know, it's getting kind of like what's going on. I don't know what's happening. So let's take a poll. Do you think this is about the president? Let's ask that question. Because it might not be about him. You know, it could be about something else. I know that's right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download my old stuff that talked about the president's watch and the executive session. I'm going to download that for you guys. That just talks about like the search committee that we had and everything. I'm going to go through it. So let's do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically download this for you guys. And then we can talk a little bit about the timeline. Let me see if we have any more updates, y'all. I want to hone in that man said possible litigation. For those of you that are just now tuning in, I'll go ahead and share this with you. IHL called an executive session regarding a Jackson State personnel matter and possible litigation. This is the spokesman, Mr. Sewell, at the IHL board meeting right outside of it. And this is the statement that they have basically released.
Has voted to enter executive session to discuss a personnel matter regarding the job performance of a person holding a specific position at JSU and related potential litigation, the discussion of which in open session would be detrimental to the litigation position of IHL. Has voted.
Yeah, so that's what we have so far. This is a executive session regarding a Jackson State personnel matter and possible litigation. No, that's not Christine. That's me. You didn't see it? That's not Christine. That's me. Don't that look like me? I took Christine's outfit though. That's me, y'all. And Ladarius, you are off the chain, and I cannot believe you're saying that. All right. Oh, Lord have mercy. If your university currently has a permanent president at the helm, drop the heart emojis with the color of your school. If you have a current president and that particular president has been at the school for more than 5 years, let me put that out there. No, let's do more than 3 years. If you have a current president who's been at your school for more than 3 years, there's no telling how long they're going to be behind closed doors. There's not really anything to discuss. It's already been, rehashed and rehabbed. There's nothing to discuss. We need to know what it is. We just need to know who the interim is. That's all. What else does there need to be discussed? There, if you can say it, you have your current president, and that's been your president for more than 3 years. Not a lot of folks can put that in the chat now. I'm not trying to be shady. I'm just, I'll just say this, that a lot of times having universities with presidents that are in a state of upheaval, confusion. What school is that? What school is that, Jay? What school are you repping? Jay done entered into the transfer portal. Now, I've been trying to... I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights. There's no other updates at this point in time. As soon as they bring us some news, as soon as they bring it, I will bring it straight to you. Straight to you. I ask the question, Lord. Lord. Oh, allegedly, Granny Ann. Allegedly. Oh, Dr. Anthony updating her resume now. So we're waiting on the determination of this executive session, and he did indicate that there was possible litigation tied to David Thomas said, I still got my president. My president still is at my school. For those of you that are late to the party, the IHL Mississippi College Board is currently having a executive session regarding a personnel matter with someone from Jackson State University to include possible litigation as well. So they basically placed it in executive session because having it out in the open would compromise IHL's ability for legal. Allegedly, Jerome, allegedly. Y'all got to get these allegeds on here. And did turning water into wine, because if this is about a Jackson State president resigning, and to the credit, Max, my guess is somebody has filed a harassment claim about someone, just a guess. Lord have mercy, Max. You don't whenever it comes out what it really is, we don't need you to speak about it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, everybody agrees with Max. Okay, Miss Michelle said, I agree. Allegedly, right. Allegedly, something happened. And we're trying to figure out what exactly it is. We're waiting on that word. This shouldn't be a long, drawn-out executive session. The reason why I say that is because allegedly, this particular incident and matter, of which I'm not going to speak on until they actually release the announcement. Nephew, delete that. Delete that. How do you delete this? Now, come on now, nephew. Nephew. Mississippi State been rocking with our president since 2009. Oh, really? Well, I will say this about some of these other institutions that are state institutions. Like Mississippi State or Ole Miss, they have the funding to pay for the president's salary. So they have a little bit more leeway, influence. We ain't gonna be saying it on here, JB. You know, you got to keep it real, you know. Right. Get it over with. Come on, listen. Okay, so this is something that's good, right? So one thing that's good about them, you know, going ahead and getting this out of the way is that, you know, it's May. The kids aren't necessarily at school and they're taking, you know, taking their time. As far as if it is a president, we'll have time, May, June, July. They don't really get back into school until August, with the exception of course, summer school. But basically, a lot of things will be at skeleton staff in terms of who's there. It's the spring, so at least they waited until after graduation, right? So at least they waited until after that happened. You know what? You need to. Why is this happening? You guys play too much. I don't know what to say right now. I am speechless based on these comments in the chat. We don't even know if it really is the president. I mean, we can speculate, but it might not be. Maybe, possibly. It could be something else. Maybe, possibly. No definitives yet, you guys. Okay? No definitives. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up because this is what I did all the way in 2023. So that you guys will be aware of who actually chose our president, right? Because I think y'all think that we control that and we don't. And so I'm getting ready to bring that up and give you all of the news in terms of how our presidents are chosen, you know, who has control over that. So let me pull that up. Yeah, there we go. And I wanted to bring this to you so that you'd be able to see, like, okay, so, you know, so these are the people that were responsible for the president search. This particular search took place in 2023. These are the people that were responsible for the president search. I'm just going to give you a breakdown. So this will give you basically a rundown of our current our President Thompson, his resignation, and how not President Thompson, President Hudson's resignation, and how we got to President Thompson. Okay. So this is the presidential search timeline. Jackson State University Faculty Senate voted no confidence in President Hudson in January of 2023. Hudson, president of Jackson State University, was placed on administrative leave with pay by the IHL on March 5th, 2023. Board search committee chair named for Jackson State University presidential search on March 23rd, 2023. President Hudson resigned and it was effective March 31st. They named interim president Elaine Hayes Anthony. There was a listening session scheduled for Jackson State University, April 12th, 2023. If this is the resignation of the president, it'll be interesting to see how these listening sessions will take place. Just because usually they reach out to the students, the staff, and the community when they do these particular listening sessions. So it'll be interesting if they're trying to, in the event that this is our president that is resigning, it'll be interesting to see if they are going to do these same listening sessions only to not listen. That makes a difference, right? On June 21st, 2023, the Board of Trustees of State Institutions of Higher Learning selected 7 members representing Jackson State University campus constituents to serve as a search advisory committee. I will say this, that the advisory committee had a lot of complaints. this last go around with transparency, with making sure that their input mattered on the actual hiring of the president. Like, they cited that there was a lot of issues taking place. Why are y'all over here clowning in the chat? All right, I'm gonna stop reading the chat. I'm gonna stop reading it. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me take a little break real quick. I'm going to play this intermission for us, and then we'll get right back to it. Give me like 2 minutes, and you guys can just listen in on this song. Let him use you, Lord.
I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights, but when I look around, and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I don't control. The clouds hang low. I can hardly see the road.
Okay, I'm back from my break. All right, so this was our interim president, acting president Elaine H. Anthony. I don't have no complaints. I think she did a phenomenal job. So then, we have their presidential listening sessions. This was the search committee. I'm going to read out their names because these are the folks that are responsible for picking our president. Okay. At what point do you hold IHL accountable for picking these types of presidents? Dr. Myers was renting 2 hotels and an apartment complex to house students. We are currently, allegedly, we were getting ready to buy a hotel that had a ridiculous amount of problems with it. And we are currently as well we were renting a hotel ourselves. Present day renting a hotel to house students. Okay. All right. Can't be over here talking about. Okay. So the first one we have is Dr. Stephen Cunningham. He was the chair of the search committee. He's a board certified diagnostic radiologist. He's a full partner and current president of Comprehensive Radiology Services, PLLC in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He's a graduate of Jackson State University. Dr. Ormella Cummings, she served as the chief strategy for North Mississippi Health Services. She facilitated the evidence-based planning process. Bruce Martin, he was appointed by the board by Governor Phil Bryant in 2018 to represent the 1st Central Supreme Court District for a term to expire in 2027. G. Ogletree was appointed by the board by Bryant in 2018 to represent the Central Supreme Court District for a term to expire in 2027. Hal Parker was appointed by the board by Bryant in 2012 to represent the 1st Central Supreme Court District. He was reappointed by Governor Tate Reeves in 2021 for a term to expire in 2030. So that was who was responsible for putting it together, right? For our current president that we have now. And KB says the idea of JSU breaking away from IHL to gain institutional independence is highly complex and requires significant legal and political changes. Would you agree? I would agree. And just because we are in the state of Mississippi, President Trump has basically tried to dismantle the Department of Education. He wants to return all of the rights and regulations and governing authority totally over to the states. Any type of like bucking against Mississippi would just make matters worse. Just make matters worse. So I don't really think that's an option for Jackson State to try to break away from IHL. Too much red tape, and it would basically sour an already very rocky relationship with Jackson State and IHL. All right. So on August 17th, they had 45 applications. By August 21st, they had 79 applications. 79 out of 79 presidents or potential presidents, all with degrees and PhDs and doctorates and masters and all of this different, experience in higher education. Anyway, on October 6th, they released announcement date for Founders Day. They had a closed door meeting on October 10th. They made an announcement that they're not going to be making any more announcements on a potential president being announced. Okay? They made that announcement. It's a lot, right? A lot. Let me see if we have any more updates, y'all. I don't have any more updates. We're going on 45 minutes since the virtual special meeting was called to order by members of the Mississippi College Board IHL. They immediately voted to go into executive session, and they turned the computer off for guests. And we have not had any sort of updates from local media. So we're just waiting on an announcement. Okay, I turned the notifications on, so I'll receive a notification. So 79 applications. Do you know how many qualified candidates out of 79? I'm just saying, Okay. And so this is going to answer why is Jackson State's presidential search so secretive? Because they weren't releasing information. And that's because there is basically confidentiality in university presidential search process. And it's mostly in the southern states. This map compares Mississippi presidential search process, which permits the governing board to announce a sole finalist, to search processes used in other southern states. So it looks like the only open search that they have is Arkansas. Applicants can be secret is in Louisiana. Finalists, not applicants, announced, and that's in South Carolina and in Tennessee. Semifinalists can be a secret. That's in Texas, Oklahoma, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Virginia. I don't know those other. Yeah. The sole finalist is, of course, Mississippi and North Carolina. So that's why you normally don't hear all of the people that were submitted unless they say something. And usually they're not going to say anything because most of the time they are holding various positions at other colleges. Now, the thought process is, of course, that you want for qualified people to submit their resume and apply without them basically keeping in jeopardy the job that they currently have. So that's a little bit about last year's process. Okay. Let's talk about some of the things that the president did accomplish while here. He did receive or was able to get us quite a bit of substantial state appropriations, more than usual, right? We received over $23 million in state funds for various campus projects, including repairs, renovations, expansions of residential spaces. We received $2 million grant from Entergy Charitable Foundation to establish a critical power grid network security lab. I think that was probably one of the biggest achievements for the current president, was the $23 million. But you can't shit and eat in the same pot, okay? States should also involve HBCU leadership and decision making, not just appoint leaders without community input. Scholarships, research grants, and economic partnerships can fuel student success. So let's read up on our current president. Even though, I mean, it could be, it could not be, we don't know. Like, it might not be about the president. It could be about somebody else. So this is a little bit about our current president. I mean, it could be about him. It could be about somebody else. Could be, you know. Dr. Thompson is driving Jackson State University forward with a vision that places student success, academic excellence, and the institutional growth of the forefront. Since becoming the university's 13th president in 2023, he has led key initiatives to expand educational access, enhance research endeavors, and improve campus life, reinforcing JSU's position as a top-tier urban research institution committed to preparing students for the challenges for tomorrow. President Thompson strives to envision and implement extraordinary opportunities for students, ensuring that they are equipped with the tools, resources, and support needed to thrive academically and professionally. He has made history with the launch of the 3+3 law program in collaboration with the University of Mississippi, establishing JSU as the first Mississippi HBCU to offer an accelerated law degree pathway. His passion for student success is evident in initiatives like Friends After 5, which connected students with influential industry leaders, and the creation of the first ever loan repayment assistant program at an HBCU, helping students manage their student loans after graduation. Under his guidance, first-time freshman enrollment has increased by nearly 2%, and he secured a historic $23 million in state appropriations to enhance campus infrastructure, positioning JSU for continued growth and innovation. His leadership extends to faculty and staff. He emphasized mentorship, collaboration, and innovative approaches that enhance their roles within the university and globally. President Thompson is advancing the university's research enterprise with a focus on faculty-led initiatives and strategic external partnerships. His effort has already secured $2 million grant from the Intergy Charitable Foundation to launch a critical power grid network security lab, positioning JSU at the forefront of STEM research. So he's done a lot of things. He earned a doctor of philosophy in urban higher education from Jackson State University, a master of education, and a bachelor of arts in history and Spanish from Mississippi College. Under his leadership, JSU is shaping the future of higher education, setting the standard for student success, research excellence, and institutional impact. He was doing some stuff now. Let's not act like he wasn't doing something. Somebody said bring Miss Dr. Melva K. Wallace is the president of Houston Tillotson University. Oh, Coach Simmons said hands off. Oh, Lord have mercy. Are they still not out that meeting yet? Dang, how much do you have to talk about it? If Dr. Umar is our president, all of the funds will be gone. All of them. You know how many donations he's had? No school. No. Not at all. All right, y'all. So that's a little bit of history of our current president. I was waiting to see if there's going to be an announcement. I think maybe we should stay on here probably about 15 to 20 more minutes to see if they go ahead and make a announcement. What are they waiting on? Christmas? So usually based off of that, it usually takes almost 6 months for them to actually pick a president, because the last presidential search started like in March, and I believe he was named by like October. So we're actually kind of late on the process if you know, this is about our president resigning. Simply Beautiful. I actually don't see Adrian's chat because he must be blocked like on my, I don't know, I can't see what he's saying. So, he's already sent to the gulag on my end. I cannot see anything that he's typing in the chat. Oh, goodness. Yeah, so it would be nice to know which search firms they use to find presidents and if they use the same search firms as they do for the MSU and Ole Miss. Y'all remember when it leaked that they were going to choose a white president for Jackson State University? Y'all remember when that came out? And then all of a sudden, boom, they hired him way left field. Like, he didn't even have to apply. So I don't know the specifics about why he's allegedly being removed or if he's being removed. But I will say this, there's no such thing as like it's real, it's tangible. You can see the tangibles that the president has bought to the university. At the end of the day, it's not necessarily about maybe his work performance, right? I think he's done a phenomenal job of bridging the gap between Jackson State University and those Republicans, right? So Dr. Thompson worked at IHL for decades. I want to say at least 15 years plus years he was working at IHL. So he just had the connections. He had a great relationship with Haley Barbour, which is a former governor of the state of Mississippi. And for me, being in a Republican-led state with a Republican governor, Republicans all around, I'll say that he did a great job of those relationships. I think it was pretty much known that Dr. Thompson had these ties with these Republicans, and he was able to utilize them to guarantee some funding that Jackson State hasn't seen in a long time. So for me, I feel like he did pretty phenomenal job. We can see the way that he supported students, the different initiatives that he took on, very engaged. So I don't think I would have any of those complaints in terms of his performance on the job. Oh. I will say this, that the president made a lot of changes in a lot of different places. Like from the top on down, there was a lot of changes that were made. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates. There was a lot of folks that were hired recently. There was a lot of changes that were made in different offices, different schools, the College of Business or College of Engineering. There was a lot of changes that were made in terms of who he had over those departments. See, can we get at least 5 years? That's what I'm talking about. At least 5 years. Every year I've been at uni. Hidden Death, name the scandals from 2020 on up. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, Lord have mercy. Average chancellor president is around 3 years. Well, can we get the over on there? Dave don't never be on here when Mr. Ford be on here. But he on here tonight. Look, y'all. You know who that is? That's A&T Dave. Everybody say hey to A&T Dave. Hey, A&T Dave. He don't never be on here. He's never on here when Mr. Ford is on here asking about him. He don't be on here. Oh, Lord have mercy. All right. Here we have an update, y'all. We have an update. Here's the update. Because I have these on, I got these notifications on. My notifications are on. You guys, breaking news, we have an update. All right. 1 hour and counting. This is the update that we have. You see how the door is closed? The door is closed. The door is closed. 1 hour and counting. Mississippi College Board, IHL, is still meeting virtually in executive session to discuss the job performance of a specific individual at Jackson State University and potential litigation. You know, it's hard when you have leadership that's not stable, right? Because the first 2 years is, I would say, like, year one is your creation of where you want to see the university. Year two, you're just starting to implement a plan and the steps that need to take place. 3 through 5 is the implementation of that plan. So basically, if you said, I want to increase enrollment by 10%, you're going to need a couple of years, right? So you're implementing all of these things. Year 3 through 5 is where you look at where the growth is. But if you keep having a brand new president every year to a year and a half, everybody comes out with their own determination of what they think the university should be. You have a rollover in terms of employees, but you might switch out your cabinet. So basically, with the new president, the president's going to bring in their own staff. You start all the way over. It's a lot of rollover, a lot of and then you just have a lot of folks that are I want to say like for employees, like the professors, and the staff that works at Jackson State, I'm sure that it's stressful having to have a brand new president every year and a half to 2 years. Oh. Yeah, you can't grow like that. You cannot grow. It's impossible to grow if you have a new president every season, every 2 years. You're not able to implement what you put through. Now, I'll say this based off of the president's implementation and his message. I've seen him going to various states with the band and promoting Jackson State. I'm gonna say that his message or what he wanted to do at Jackson State had a great chance of working to increase the number of students there. They had a 10% increase in the freshman enrollment. Dave. Mr. Ford, where you at? Dave's on here. Say hi. Dave, say hi to Mr. Ford. Yeah. So I would think, the majority of the big decline in enrollment, of course, happened with COVID. And so there's a lot of universities that are trying to plant their feet somewhere. Changes in leadership definitely affect the ability to properly promote the university as it should be. So I think with us, I know a lot of people did have some reservations about the president, just because a lot of folks didn't think that he was qualified enough to lead the university. No matter what the determination of this executive session is, I would say that allegedly, folks, he grew on folks in terms of what he was doing for the university. I'm sorry, getting $23 million worth of funding secured that's a big feat for Jackson State president. And we haven't seen that in quite some time. And we've had several presidents who align with conservative values, or, they're supposed to have, Republican ties, and they weren't bringing in that type of money. And then that's just to rehash, Jackson State is not able to choose its own president. What we are able to do is make recommendations. They might listen and, they'll they'll get together a board that they put together. Let me see what that board is called. Let me see if I can find it. So they put together a search committee, and then they have listening sessions online. They take, into account the community. They also have like an advisory committee, search committee, and they select 7 members that represent Jackson State University. I do know that last year, or not last year, the last presidential search that did take place, that the search committee was not happy with the way that it was run. It was very secretive. They didn't feel as if they were being heard. And it was kind of like they made a search advisory committee just to save face, because they did not take into account any of those recommendations. What's today? Wednesday? So no announcement has been made. The only thing that I can do is I'll share this with everybody. Compliments of Dre. If I send you this, just know I'm on my way out. Oh God, please help me, Lord. I haven't been on edge like this since the FAMU and Banana State games. Dre is so unserious. See, Lord, have mercy. Y'all want to know how it feels right now? This is how we feel right now. I'll go ahead and show you how it feels to be a Jackson State alum and have all of this, you're doing good. You have an increase in freshman enrollment. The Sonic Boom of the South has been from the Super Bowl to the Rose Bowl parade to performing with who is it? Travis. Yeah. All this different stuff that we have going on. And it's like, we're just doing an amazing job. Like everything's on the up and up. Everything's on the up and up. And then boom. Super Bowl. Everything's going good. This is how it feels. The feeling that this young man felt. That's how we feel right now. We have the same feeling. This is how it feels. If you ever want to know how we feel right now, We're on top of the world. Celebration Bowl champions, SWAC champions. What else, y'all? Y'all comment in the chat. Jackson State is on the up and up, man. It feels good to be a Jackson State Tiger. Vita said it's like looking at a fine woman as she walks away and then turns around looking like Jeepers Creeper. Somebody call Olivia Pope. No, because Olivia Pope would have took the rug, pulled it up, swept whatever it is right underneath the rug, and then called and said it's handled. It's handled. You don't have to worry. That's how we feel though right now. We feel like this young man just sitting there like, damn.
He made it big time, Willie. Willie! Willie! He gone! Willie!
You know what I will say? I'll say that depending on the announcement that they make, comment in the chat the last time Jackson State had a stable president. Comment in the chat. When was the last time that Jackson State had a stable president? And what is that president's name? Y'all know? Ooh. Ronald Mason was good until he tried to merge all the folks together. President Lyons, okay. All right, so let's go ahead and go over the history of Jackson State presidents. So, we have, you know what? It has, and you know, it actually hasn't been that many. It's just, goodness gracious. They really done turned it up a notch. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and read off to you the presidents that we had in order. I would actually love to do this particular thing when Mr. Ford is on, because Mr. Ford would be able to add, or Jerome would also be able to add a little bit of background information as to what each different president contributed to Jackson State. So the first president, Charles Ayer, 1877 to 1894, Luther G. Barrett, and if I make a mistake, please let me know, 1894 to 1911, Zachary T. Herbert, 1911 to 1927, B. Baldwin Dansby, 1927 to 1940, Jacob L. Reddix, 1940 to 1967. Dang, 27 years? John A. Peoples Jr., 1984 or 1967 to 1984. That's for 17 years. James A. Hefner was from 1984 to 1980 or 1991, excuse me. So that was for 7 years. Then we had Herman B. Smith Jr. for a 1-year interim. Then we had James E. Lyons Sr. from 1992 to 1999. That was for 7 years. Betty Ward Fletcher was interim from 1999 to 2000. Then we had Ronald Mason Jr. from 2000 to 2010. Leslie Burrell McLemore was the interim for 2010. Carolyn Myers was from 2010 to 2016. Rod Page was the interim from 2016 to 2017. So it looks like 15, 16, or basically the 13th president, the 12th president, and the 11th president been giving us the blues. William B. Bynum Jr. was from 2017 to 2020. Thomas K. Hudson was from 2020 to 2023. Interim Elaine Hayes Anthony was interim from 2023. And then Marcus L. Thompson was 2023 to the present. All I know is this: if you do not, and I mean, y'all gonna let the jokes fly, and that's fine, because when it was happening to y'all, we was definitely joking on y'all. But I will say this: if you don't have a current president at the helm, or AD, you do not need to be laughing right now. I'm just saying. First of all, Anthony, she said that she is not a side chick. Y'all are not just gonna be calling on her when everything falls apart or when shit hits the fan. All of a sudden, you think you're getting ready to call me to sweep up your dirty mess. Okay, they don't even have a president right now. Please. Let's not, the Chuck E. Cheese coins brigade. Please. And you guys still don't have a president right now, so stop. Get her back. We need an old soul. Now, we don't went from we need someone progressive, we need somebody who understands the students, to now we need an old soul. Which one is it, Stock Talk David? Now you want President Anthony? You're not about to be wasting my time. You're not about to continue to call me whenever y'all get bored. We need somebody who knows how to keep it in they young blood my ass. Young blood my ass. They're having too much young blood. Me personally, I think we need a woman president. I'm sorry. We need a woman president. Let A.D. Robinson stick to athletics. Dang, they must really be in there talking. What are they talking about? Oh, Lord. A woman president, why specifically? The last interim was suspect. In what ways was she suspect? In her personal life or in her professional? You over here talking about the last woman was suspect. The last 3 presidents that we had that were male, let's go over their track record, okay? I'm not trying to mess up your day, Black King 9. I'm just bringing you the news, and we don't even have any news. Why is it messing up your day? Don't let nothing mess up your day. I'm about to go pick up Braxton. I don't know what we're going to do. I guess we're going to discuss it. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do, y'all. Allegedly. Okay. I think we should have a woman president. We have a lot of qualified women that applied. Let's just start there. It doesn't necessarily have to be Anthony. Let's just start there. And here comes Dre clowning. He said, get them rhinestones out of there. Out of there. Messy on the side with her fan. No, absolutely not. Not fooling with you Negroes. No. I like to stay right where I'm at. Now y'all want her back. Now you want her back, huh? Oh, so now you don't want to deal with it. Now you want her back. All right. All right. So let's talk about our last couple of presidents. And, you know, you let me know. What do you guys think about this president? What do you guys think about President Hudson in terms of what he did for the university? Or I'm going to see if there's any more updates, you guys. This is ridiculous. He's the reason Dion left. He is not the reason Dion left. I wish y'all would quit saying that. Dion left because he always wanted to coach at a Power 5. Please stop. Y'all are terrible. Oh, oh God. What is wrong with y'all? Over there talking about he the reason why Dion left. No, Dion always had, he might have told you that God told him to be at HBCUs and do this, that, and the third, but Dion always wanted to leave. That was literally the game plan the whole time. Mm, 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 mm. This is why I can't take y'all folks. This is a serious situation, y'all. Let me see if they did a press release yet. They are so trifling. Do you know how trifling they are for saying, "Oh, we're gonna have a board of trustees meeting, a special session," and they only had it live for 2 minutes? That is so trifling. Let's see if they've released anything. They haven't released anything, you guys. Oh. Damn, that's mean. Dion left to prove he could mess up Shador's draft stock. Wow. Close the doors, close the doors. And there was almost like 200 people on there waiting. Close the doors, close the doors, close the doors. God, please help me. Miss Betty, do you want to know? Do you want to know? Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know? I do not want to be president. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Folks see something about Jackson State and their nature rise. Every day is a great day to be a Tiger. Wonder who the interim president will be this time. Ooh. Oh my God. We need to discuss this. What is it about being the president? Is it like being like, do you feel like you're Batman? Do you feel like you're Bruce Wayne? Like, what happens? Do you feel like you're Superman? Are you invincible? Like, what happens? Dion left because Shannon told him the best snow bunnies are up in the mountain of Colorado. Ooh, I don't think so. Dion doesn't give me 19-year-old girl vibes, especially not in a white woman. He just doesn't give that. He doesn't give those type of. Oh, who is it, Jay? Who is it? Send me the person. Send it to me in my inbox so I can pretend like we're looking at people. What the helly? What the helly? What the helly? What the Fonte? Okay, so here's the thing. Whatever is transpiring right now, this is probably just like the steps that they're taking right now. This is probably like how they have to take it in accordance with their bylaws. But I'm pretty sure everything else in terms of quit being ignorant. JSU just attracts attention. People have habits and addictions that come from darkness to light in due season. I'll just say this. And this is true. Dr. Thompson did work for IHL before coming to Jackson State. The next person, okay, so we're still on the allegedly tip. So everybody needs to put allegedly in the chat. But, you know, anything that you do that could compromise the university, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Why? Why put Jackson State in that type of position? Why would you do that? It's not necessary. It's not necessary. You don't have to do that. Y'all, we coming up on 2 hours with we haven't had any type of announcement. They're still in the boardroom. I bring you guys the news. I talk about sports. We talk about politics. We talk about, we talk about it all over here. Bynum, Hudson, now Thompson. What the hell is right? That's right. What the hell? And on top of that, we're not going to talk about, the alleged, but I will say this. Y'all got to keep y'all head on the swivel and have some discernment for folks to be like, ministers or pastors or, the lack of discernment is just not there. Where is the discernment at? Where is it? They weren't at Bynum's house. They was at a hotel, wasn't they? Allegedly. Talking about the IHL sent them 304s to Bynum house. How do you send the 304s to his house? He was at a hotel. And on top of that, why are you doing that anyway? If you have vices, go to God and pray about them, or, you do that stuff away from wherever you're at, allegedly on campus. Who? Now, Mr. Moore, now you going too far. Oh, you going too far. I ain't heard that one. You moving like you have nothing to lose. Good. You saying it. Moving like you have nothing to lose. And just to put this out here, if you are the most important and most powerful person at a state institution, an HBCU, and there are folks who have nothing to lose that will help you lose it all. Like there are folks that will set you up because they don't want to see you be great. They might know that, oh, I know this person like this. Let me set him up for the okie doke and see if he takes it. Come on now, have some discernment. But, you know, I feel, me personally, I don't feel like it's a bad look on Jackson State. I'm going to tell you why. It's not a bad look on Jackson State, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, Jackson State does not choose their presidents. This is who chooses the president right here. These are who choose the presidents for, or this particular president. This was the search committee, and that's who chose our president, right? With a lot of backlash. There was a lot of backlash that came with the choice of the president. Something dropped that said that they were trying to appoint a white male to be the president of Jackson State. There was a whole bunch of drama that ensued. They ended up not making a choice, or something went down. Like it was a battle behind closed doors, behind the scenes. And that's when our current president was named. But let's just keep it a buck. We are not responsible for choosing our president. Therefore, we cannot be blamed when things go left. But what you can do is, if you have 3 presidents in the past 5 years, and every last one of them had some sort of issue, it makes IHL look bad, but more importantly, it makes them look negligent, and it makes it look intentional and purposeful, that you are hiring folks to be over Jackson State University, and you're not able to hire one decent person. And when I say decent, what I mean is one person that can't quell whatever vices they have for the betterment of Jackson State University. The next person that you're gonna have to put an extra space, because it seems like the vetting of these presidents includes, let me see what bad stuff that they also got going on with them, so that we can make sure to hire somebody who has something about them that will catch up with them later. Because the Jackson State submits their choice and IHL goes against it. Whoever Jackson State chooses, they're going to pick the opposite. Mr. Moore, people talk, and I guarantee you they definitely do research and know. Mind you, I want to say, and this is alleged, and you allegedly, the stuff that was going on with Hudson happened before he was actually even named president. Meaning, if they did enough research or background check, then they would have been able to find it Or they did find it and they said, oh yeah, let's hire him because this will come out later. Better late than never. The next president, they should hire a female who likes tall men with curly hair. What? I don't think the governor cares, honestly. Governor doesn't care. I thought we was going somewhere this year, though. I thought we was taking it to the mountaintop. Wait a minute. We're not accusing. This is not a trial jury. This is literally just a board meeting. Tater Tot do not care. I'm not going to be messy and show that on here. Oh, Lord. Y'all, I don't think we're going to have a determination, and we've been on here long enough and they ain't said nothing. So the best thing that I can do is maybe come on here later or come on here tomorrow. Come on here later after the announcement is made or after it comes out, or we could just go to tomorrow. I'm gonna stay on here for 15 more minutes and then I'm out. Come back later after the news breaks this afternoon. You think we should do it later on? But what if they don't break the news? Hopefully. So this is what I'm going to propose. I'm going to propose that I'm trying to remember how they did it last time. From what I can remember last time, they didn't even announce anything until like a week later. Okay. So everybody's saying come back on here later today after the announcement is made. Because what if the announcement happens in the next 5 minutes? Then it's going to be like, dang. Wait, let me ask my source. How long does it take? Hang on. And let me look on this website, IHL website. They do have a new IHL president, and that's G. Ogletree. Lord, how are we going to fix it? Yeah, let's come on around 7:30 because then we'll be able to drink wine. Then we'll be able to drink some wine. Oh, Lord have mercy. So we're going to come back on at 7:30, which is 8:30 my time. We'll come on tonight. If there's an update. If there's no update, I'm not coming on because then we'll just be sitting up here. And as Granny Ann has pointed out, JSU is resilient. We're going to be all right no matter what. We'll need wine or whiskey tonight. Me personally, I'm going to drink some wine. Doc sent me $20 for the bet that he sent me my $20 because we made a bet that Shiloh, whether or not Shiloh would get drafted. I said Shiloh wasn't going to get drafted. He bet me $20 that Shiloh would. So he sent me $20. So I'm going to go get me a glass of double XL. We'll be on tonight to discuss and do a recap. So Ken will go on. I want to say Ken is 9 p.m., but I'll be on at 7:30 your time. So if I come on at 9, that'll be 8 your time. Ken will be on at 10 my time. So we'll be able to do a 1-hour show. Wrap it right on up. I'm gonna see if I can get a couple of folks on here to talk about it. Hopefully we'll get them right on in. He did. He bet $20. So I'm gonna go buy me a glass of excess oil. So Max is saying that if the president don't get fired, all of our ass is getting kicked for gossiping. SWAC softball doubleheader tonight at 6 p.m. and 8:30. So Max is saying that it ain't even about the president at all. We're over here wrong as two left shoes. I'll be deleting the live if it ain't about him. Over here cracking jokes and keying. That this live will be deleted. No, but I have it on pretty good authority that wait, what? Wait just a second. Wait a minute. Hold up now. Wait, we have an update, y'all. Give me a second. We have an update. Breaking news out of Jackson State University. The executive session has ended. I'm here live on SheLovesThee Podcast, and I am following Ross Adams of WAPT. And he said the executive session has ended. What does this mean for Jackson State University and leadership? Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. We might get an update, y'all. We're going to at least get Ross is more than likely in the next 5. I literally have, let me see, I have like 13 minutes, right? So hopefully Ross will post a statement that is going to be made because they're going to be all in the folks' face. Hey, what's going on? Can you give us a statement, please, on what this executive session was concerning? You are responsible for basically appointing Jackson State presidents. Can you please elaborate on why the last 3 presidents have all been relieved of their duties? 3 in the past 5 years. Y'all the one up in Jackson, Mississippi. How am I supposed to? Is it live on the news channel? No, I don't think so. It'll be live at 5 though. I doubt we get an update. IHL will put out a letter if they made a decision. So I don't think we'll get a generic answer from probably the PR people. But it might just say something as into, such and such has resigned. And just like Max said, if it's not about The president credentials denied for Jackson State. Anything released will may be used against them. It will say little to nothing. What? My fly is open. See, y'all are being terrible in this chat. So yeah, folks are saying that they're not even going to say what had happened. Who is Captain Moist? What does that mean? I won't complain. Give me just a second. All right, y'all. God, please help me.
But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I won't complain. But when I look around and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days.
I won't complain. So, the final word from Ross Adams of WAPT says that we're just going to go ahead and make the announcement. The College Board voted to adjourn without mentioning what they discussed in closed session after meeting for 2 hours. In other words, we ain't got to tell you nothing. You ain't finna know nothing. And that's that. Ooh, I like that idea. I like that idea. All right. They said we had an executive session for 2 hours. Yeah, we spoke to y'all for 2 minutes, and we're not going to tell you nothing. So there's that. So basically, we don't know nothing. We haven't had anything announced as of yet. And the media is like, well, release a statement. There is no statement to release at this point in time. So the executive session has ended. And like Max said, if it's not about the president, all our ass is getting fired. Dr. Glover was a really good dean for the College of Business when I was at Jackson State, so I wouldn't mind it. Didn't Dr. Glover resign? They said it's a closed meeting for a reason. Speak to our legal advisor and you have a good day. Dang. So we don't know nothing. We ain't heard nothing. So at this point, we'll discuss later on when they make a statement. As someone said, they might issue a press release, later on around 5, maybe they might release something. If I hear something or some new developments come forth, then I will create a live. Otherwise, we'll be back here Thursday night per usual, right? Thursday night as usual. Well, we continue to make shit up. We aren't making up anything. Listen, where there is smoke, there is fire. Okay? We kept it kind of PG on this show, right? You might see it some other shows that aren't so nice, right? IHL is messy. It needs to be said that I've only said good things about our president today, and all of you all should be ashamed of yourselves. Allegedly. Wait a minute. Michelle, they didn't get no smoke. No smoke for the new pope. No smoke for the new pope. Oh, Lord have mercy. I was basically reporting on the news in a professional capacity. There's a little couple of jokes that's gonna fly because that's what happens when I share news with you all. I'm gonna get a joke in there. I'm gonna get a joke or two. But we don't have any determination on what exactly happened in that boardroom. But you know what? One thing that I do like about having being that our schools in the state of Mississippi, if it was in Florida and then was the Sunshine Law, oh my God, you would know everything. Any and everything. You would have access to emails, text messages on school issued phones, conversations, the board meeting. You would basically be sitting beside everybody, hearing all of this embarrassing news. Like it would literally be everything that's being said, We didn't even say anything. Black smoke today, which means no new pope. I'm gonna at Dr. Kanisha on Twitter and say no white smoke for the new pope. So you guys, when I hear some more information on, anything, they've decided not to make a statement. Whatever it is, it's very, very serious. Seeing as they met for 2 hours, the next scheduled meeting for IHL is next Thursday. Y'all let me know if you want me to cover that, even though whenever they do, they're going to go into executive session. But May 15th is the next IHL meeting unless they call a special session. So I will see you guys. If something breaks credibly in the news before tonight, I'll go on tonight. Otherwise, I will see you guys again tomorrow night. If you have the chance, you can go on the Southwestern Athletic Conference, their YouTube, the SWAC Digital Network, and you can watch the softball tournament, which is taking place in Gulfport, Mississippi. That tournament, they actually have the games live streamed and very professionally done. I know a lot of folks were kind of upset that some of the SWAC championship wasn't covered for tennis, but they do have them available for softball. Tonight they have Grambling versus Texas Southern at 7. Southern versus Prairie View at 7. And yeah, that Grambling and FAMU game was crazy. Like, it went really down to the wire. FAMU was able to come out on top. It's a double elimination type of tournament. There you go. I posted the SWAC Sports 1920. That's the SWAC Digital Network. And I guess unless something breaks credibly in the next couple of hours, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me check one more time. And of course, we're going to leave out the way that we came with my favorite song. You guys have a blessed afternoon. Don't be stressed. God is in control.
I've had some weary days and some sleepless nights. But when I look around, and I think things over, all of my good days outweigh my bad days. I don't know. The clouds hang low. I can hardly see the road. I ask the question, Lord. Lord, why so this day? But He knows what's best for me. Although my weary eyes, they can't see. So I'll just say, thank you, Lord. I won't complain. But He is so good to me. He's been good to me. Better than this world I just say